My name is Vince Wolfram,
I'm Dylan Cardwell, and welcome back to another episode of Big Talk.
a show where we take small talk to the next level across the worlds of sports, lifestyle, and everything else under the sun. College football, baby. It's back. The greens have never been greener, the plains have never been more plain, and college football has returned. Here with my friend Dylan. Dylan, college football is back, baby, and we are excited for it, aren't we?
Yeah, after a long summer of grinding on Road to Glory in college football on a freaking video game, I was like, man, I cannot wait to be back in Jordan-Hare Stadium. And boy, was I excited to be back. I'm glad that college football is back. I can turn my TV on at 10 a.m. and watch college football all the way till 12 a.m. Like, I missed it so much, the pop that this city has. Man, like college football is one of the best seasons probably in all the seasons. I mean, I like college football season over Christmas holiday season. You know what I'm saying? I like it over the 4th of July. I like it over a lot of things. You like college football is literally the pinnacle of sports. There, I said it. Yep.
I'm inclined to agree. And it's been off to a hot start with even like you said, like turning on college football at 10 a.m. You got a new look college game day. Got McAfee still on there, the usual crew still on there. Lee
Saban.
Corso still kicking like the legend he is. Nick Saban added to the group adds an entire another level of awesome legacy to that team. What have you thought watching it? I mean, I've been loving it so far.
I enjoy the mix and mash between Saban and my boy Pat. Like they're
Yeah.
literally two different ends of the sports broadcasting spectrum, and having them together is like trying to match, like mix and mash mashed potatoes with like broccoli. Like it's just ugh,
Yeah, it's an interesting that video of them sitting next to each other where McAfee's sitting there like
Mhm.
boogieing out to the song and Saban's just
Yep.
like in his little coach mantra, not moving, cracks me up. And even just like the interactions when Coach Saban, I forget what he said. He was talking about the transfer portal and threw an S word in there, and McAfee was like, "Oh, oh my gosh, yeah, yeah, yeah!" Like he was all up into it. I thought it was awesome. And obviously Reese and Kirk and those guys, they do a great job. I love the Kirk Lee duo. That's probably my favorite duo.
Oh yeah, for
The
sure.
elder with the young guy with the dog, he's got it going on. I just think their relationship, their friendship is so funny.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to watch, and hopefully Auburn's lucky enough to get college game day back on campus for football. It's been far too long.
They've got plenty of chances to do it. They have four or five ranked teams still left on the schedule, with especially with a new SEC incomer like Oklahoma on the rise. You never quite know what to expect. Auburn, they had a tough week last week. We know that. We're not going to touch on it too much, just because we're looking forward to getting back to the winning ways, as Hugh Freeze would say. Obviously, there was big takeaways. What do you think? Where was your mind after that first game? I know your expectation was originally would have been playoff 10-2. What are we thinking now?
For us, for Auburn, I thought we were literally going to be like, I'm not gonna lie, I just had to lose one game, probably the Georgia game. Like, I think we're given a pretty obviously SEC is very tough. You have Arkansas looks really good right now. Vanderbilt looks insane. I mean, it's just like insane compared to years past. There's no really cupcakes that we have. Even California, on paper, yeah. Who cares about Cal? They're new in the ACC. We beat them last year at Cal. Like, we thought we could walk in there and do whatever. But when you watch the game, they're a very physical and intense team. Like that was an SEC team we played, and I don't think fans get that. I think they get lost in the hype of, man, we lost to Cal. I'm like, they have some big boys out there. And so my takeaway was just like Hugh Freeze says, like what my coach always says, when we have, 19, 20 turnovers, you can't expect to win a game with that high of a turnover assist ratio. And I think that's what Auburn saw is like, not they didn't they had too many turnovers to win a game. Like you're not gonna do it. So, but I was proud that the fans stuck it out until literally the last interception. The fans were still there, the fans were still rocking. And so the energy was good. Like, you know, just
Yeah.
cat third game.
They had typical Jordan era energy. And I also think the crowd was stunned just because they didn't know what California could bring. I think the the previous year's matchup against California might have mugged that down a little bit just because it was such a trenches sort of sloppy, but there was no like minimal turnovers. It was literally just a hard-nosed, low-scoring game. I think that might have tricked some people. And I know that's something that Hugh talked a little bit about in his pressers this week was that like it was a team that he was telling his guys like not to underestimate. Like they were a good team and they came in and showed it. Tough quarterback play, tough defense. I think a positive we could take away is our run defense was pretty good. That's something going forward that will definitely help us in the SEC. But obviously, there's some questions around quarterbacks and things of that nature. And I guess I really only have one thing to add on that, and it's that I hope Auburn fans don't give Peyton Thorne that sort of the online treatment he's been getting this week when he steps in to play New Mexico this Saturday. Because one, it's a bad game. He's human. Everybody has seen the bad games. LeBron James has bad games. Patrick Mahomes has bad games. You can't throw a guy under the bus after one game. We've
Yeah.
seen his best game in against New Mexico. We've seen how he can throw the ball. We've seen the tools and the receivers that he has around him. So I don't think you can judge him off one game, especially he had a spring ball under his belt. The coaches still believe in him, then we should still believe in him. That's my thought on the quarterback thing, and I know you're in a similar boat.
Yeah, obviously we're Auburn fans, and so I think as Auburn fans, we have to understand that if we represent Auburn, we have to realize that Auburn Crease has believed in the human touch. Like you don't have to like the guy, but let's not disrespect him. You know, he represents the school, and he's a kid. At the end of the day, he's a human being. He's gonna mess up, and so just be there for him. You don't gotta berate him. He's a human being. So like, how
And
would we
stop requesting his Venmo, man. Come
yeah,
on.
how would we like if someone came into your job and was like, "Boo, you stink!" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's relax.
Yeah.
I get it, high stakes. I get it. I'm right there with you. I'm an Auburn fan as well, but there has to be a line in humanity that we don't cross.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think going forward, the temperament of the team and the attitude of the team will change too, more to a business side,
Mhm.
standing on business, you might say, as they go forward. New Mexico this week, a tough team. They played Arizona tough, Montana State, they lost in a close one. So they're desperate for a win. So it's not going to be a cupcake, like you said. We don't really have many more of those left on the schedule. So I think it's a week that Auburn could potentially bounce back, show what they worked on this week in practice and hopefully go get a win against the Lobos. But in other SEC
It's
and
not over though. Like my thing is, they lost one game and it's out of the conference. I mean, this Auburn team can get really hot. Maybe who knows? Say they go undefeated. I mean, they won the SEC. Like, they could still do everything they wanted to do. Like it's a non-conference game. So in the grand scheme of things, this game literally meant nothing. It's just a wake-up call. And I mean, I'd rather have this earlier than later. So
yeah, I was going in that exact same direction. In other SEC news, there was a lot of teams that were had their buttons pushed. Alabama against USF for three quarters. That was a much closer game than it might have been perceived. Even Vanderbilt versus Virginia Tech in week one, like that game was an overtime game. LSU, USC playing in Vegas. That was a close game. There's SEC teams getting their buttons pushed by West Coast teams specifically, Cal and USC, that are coming across the United States to play these teams. But I just think in this day and age of college football, the duality of teams having star players that can play against the top caliber of football program has raised. There is a competition, not equality, but it's getting closer. There is a skill gap that is shortened in college football, and that's been proven by Northern Illinois. That's been proven by California, by USC, teams like that have just come in and surprised people. Um, that I think is something that we'll see more of, not only just in this season, but in seasons to come. Wouldn't you say?
no, I definitely would. I mean, NIU had no business beating Notre Dame. Like Notre Dame beats Texas A&M at A&M, which is on the college football video game, the hardest place to play at. So Notre Dame goes in the hardest place to play at and just curb stomps A&M. And the next week is lose to, I mean, golly, NIU. I'm not saying they're bad, but man, I haven't even heard of them. So it's just college football is insane. It makes my head hurt. So this is crazy.
I guess that's the good point about having a college football game now. I saw a lot of tweets from Notre Dame fans, from Auburn fans, from teams that were surprisingly losing their games last week. The getting my revenge or getting my lick back tweets were about 235 to nothing in the video game. It's actually pretty fun.
Good. Yeah, we need more of that in real life.
Yeah, and there's been plenty of teams that I know people have been using on the video game that have also been producing in real life. And a lot of those teams are coming from the SEC, especially in the AP top 25. You look at Georgia, you look at now Texas, you look at Ohio State. Those teams have been producing. What do you see from those teams? Do they look
And
beatable? Do they look unbeatable? What are your thoughts on
Tennessee
those guys?
looks unbeatable. Tennessee, I'm locking it in. They're gonna be a top four seed. I mean, you talk about video game numbers by that freaking quarterback Nico, A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P, whatever his last name is, the whole alphabet back there. But good Lord, that dude's a beast. So,
And I'm
and that defensive line is, cush for my uncle, so I'm pretty biased. But that defensive line is number one in the country. They got two top 10 picks on their defensive line alone. And so, I mean, good grief. I don't see anybody stopping Tennessee. They just whooped North Carolina State in the state of North Carolina and Charlotte, I believe. And NC State's no cupcake team. They're ranked 24th coming into the season. And I mean, they just got blitzed. And so
yeah.
Tennessee's great. I mean, what Texas did to Michigan at Michigan is something I've never even expected to see. I knew Texas was good. I knew Texas. I'm a Texas fan as far as like on the video game goes. I think Tennessee and Texas are my two favorite teams to use on the video game. And so Quinn uses my boy. He beat Alabama last year, so hook him. But I mean, what they did to Michigan was just insane. And I mean, kudos to Harbaugh. I mean, he saw the ship sinking and he got out of there. But
Yeah.
like Michigan, man, what are we doing? And so
I know. I was a little surprised by them too, and I think I might be again this week. But Michigan, it's a team that you would think, like, yes, they had some pieces leave, like Harbaugh, like a lot of their offense, JJ McCarthy, Blake Corum, a lot of the studs on offense and defense. But at the same time, they're still Michigan. They're still the defending champs. They still worked in the transfer portal, worked in recruiting. Um, but to see what Texas did to them, I think you're exactly right. I think Texas, like laying it on them, really like opened people's eyes to how tough Texas is and who they can compete with. Another team that I like, similar to you with um, Tennessee, is Ole Miss. As much as I'm not a Lane Kiffin fan, seeing them win 76 to nothing and 52 to 3. Their offense looks unreal. Jackson Dart is an absolute stud. Although I feel like he's been in college as long as Jay Fair was at Syracuse. He's been there and he's balling. And their rushing game too, Henry Parrish Jr. has 200 yards in 2 games. That's tough. It's an offense that I think SEC teams may have a tough time stopping. I don't know how their defense is yet because they've played games that you could think are easier wins in today's college football. But Ole Miss might be a team to watch out to right in that parallel with, I think, a Tennessee.
yeah, I'm putting like tier 1.5. I just think with
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin, I think Lane Kiffin is a great coach, but I think Twitter fingers catch up to people, and so
Um,
I just don't think I don't think that the college football hierarchy would let someone that tweets that much win a national championship.
I don't think he's going to stop anytime soon. If we discovered anything about Lane Kiffin, it's that he won't stop until he has to,
Yep.
or until he's forced. Um, so we've mentioned a lot of teams, but with the 12-team playoff now, the conversation expands. It's more than just 4 teams. You can lose more than one game and try to get in 1 or 2 games, potentially. Um, but it's going to be around that 11 to 12 rank. Like those kind of teams will get in. Is there any team that's jumped off the page to you that maybe we didn't expect to be a playoff team that has surprised you a little bit and could be somebody that you think could make a run when the college football playoff 12 teams are announced?
I'm just going to stick with Tennessee. I mean, they're ranked, I think 15th, 16th coming in. And I mean, dude, their offense is literally built to put up high numbers. I mean, that kid, Nico, I mean, he threw for 300 something yards in the first quarter. I mean, against Chattanooga. I mean, Chattanooga's not known for football, but I mean, they're no Alabama A&M. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I think they're my pick to. They surprised me by having that young of a freshman, like either redshirt freshman, but I mean, just everything they have is catered to go up and do something special. I mean, Arkansas, they have a chance. They were
Yeah.
up. They were big at Oklahoma State, who's ranked
Mhm.
18th. I mean, they had them beat. And so, I mean, that was just on Arkansas. I think Arkansas had a chance to be really good, especially with someone that versatile.
Arkansas is tough.
Arkansas, Tennessee. I'm just gonna go SEC team. That's why I watched them. I mean, Miami, dude, Cam Ward could have, would have, should have been. You know what I'm saying? Cam Ward, that dude was a
Yeah,
beat. For Miami to go and do what they did against Florida, at Florida, toughest place to play at in SEC. I mean, insane, insane. So Miami is definitely one of my picks as well. So Miami, Arkansas, and Tennessee.
I'm with it. I'm with it. Cam Ward, he does. I've seen all the TikToks. People are saying that he does not care. He plays just so smooth and so calm. It's an interesting style for a quarterback, especially that can run and pass. He's tough. We'll give it to him. We'll see how he plays the rest of the year in the ACC. Got some teams in the ACC. Louisville has become a good team. They're in the top 15, I think, right now. Somebody like Duke is always up on upset alert. So we'll see how Miami is. I know we've flacked on Florida State a little bit on this show, and
They're trash.
that is just gone right as we expected, completely downhill.
My
Two
Florida,
teams that I think um, are going to surprise some people. I'm going to stay in the SEC with my person. I'm going to say Missouri. I think Missouri has the perfect storm of talent and experience in a year where their schedule does have some tests. I won't say it doesn't. But if they win the games I think they're supposed to win, they could be a 9-3 team. They could beat some people, they could surprise some people. I think they probably have the best wide receiver in America in Luther Burden. He is so tough. He's in a very explosive number one target with Theo Weiss being a dangerous guy on the outside as well. And then Brady Cook, the senior quarterback, he's been under center for 2 years now. He might not get the love that all the other starting quarterbacks do across the country, but like on a national scale, but he is really, really talented. Hits 66% of his passes. He's their second leading rusher behind the running back. So Missouri is a team that I think a lot of people should watch out for. And then I also think Nebraska, the Cornhuskers, led by Patrick Mahomes the second, I
yep,
guess. Patrick Mahomes, Dylan Raiola obviously has had impressive showings in his first two games, throwing for 423 yards, three touchdowns, has an 81 QBR. Like he's putting up extremely impressive numbers. They did what they did to Colorado last week, which some people guess up Colorado. Some people think it's a great win. Some people don't. I think whenever you can go into an atmosphere that was that rocking and do what he did, it's impressive to me. I think in Nebraska could be a team that like slides into that like 8 to 12 range potentially.
yep,
How they are in the AC or in the Big Ten, with teams like Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan. ACC looks a little different, so you never quite know. They're a team that has the energy right now, team that has the publicity with him behind center. Under center is Patrick Mahomes, mini me. So I think that's a team that could catch some fire and I'll catch a lot of people's eyes, maybe surprise some people.
yep.
Patrick Mahomes Jr. has obviously been on people's minds, but there's a lot of individual players coming into this college football season that have people on alert. Um, there's a lot of new stars, a lot of old stars. It's a pretty good mix. New stars on new teams. Um, but one guy at the end of the year is going to win the Heisman Trophy. And here on Big Talk, we're going to do a little prediction. Who do you think will be in the Heisman room by the time the trophy presentation comes around at the end of the year?
For me, I'm just gonna go ahead and lock it in. I'm not gonna give you anybody else. There's got to be Quinn Ewers. That's it. Game is game. That's all. That dude right there is a different breed on another level. I mean, yeah, like we a lot of great quarterbacks this year. I guess we're very spoiled this year. But I mean, Quinn Ewers is in a category of his own.
Yeah, I like that pick. And I also think somebody like Ollie Gordon, the Oklahoma State running back, he has four touchdowns, 175 yards on 45 carries in 2 weeks. He's a stud. He was in the conversation at the beginning of last year. Oklahoma State didn't have that great of a year. And of course, I think a guy like Travis Hunter, although Colorado might not have the record, I think the fact that you play two sides of the ball. No, he's not. They're
Cold
not
take.
winning right now.
Cold take. Trash.
You can't
That
tell
is
me
the
that
worst take I've ever heard in my life.
there's not another player like him, and I'll wait until you can tell me another player like Travis.
Dude, Spencer James.
Spencer James from All American.
Spencer James.
He is not currently playing college football.
Spencer James. You asked me
I love that pull. That was a crazy pull.
James, bro. He played both sides of
You
the
had
ball.
me going through my rosters in my head. Who in the world is Spencer James? Did I forget All American? Are you serious?
Spencer James literally put the city of Compton on his back. Crenshaw put the city of Crenshaw on his back, playing both sides of the ball. He's who inspired Travis Hunter to be who he is today. Without Spencer James, there would be no Travis Hunter.
You forgot. I don't
Spencer
even.
James
No.
crawled. He crawled so that Travis Hunter can walk.
All right, Spencer James and then Travis Hunter. Okay, they'll both be in the Heisman room.
No,
I
neither
just
of them.
think
They're
it's
both
interesting.
trash. Anyways,
Travis Hunter is doing something that people have not done in a long time, and he's actually producing numbers. I think it's admirable, so I'm going to give him a round of applause.
yeah, it is
If
admirable.
you don't
He
like,
could win the wide receiver or cornerback award, yeah, but he's not winning the Heisman. That dude's gonna lose. That team is gonna be like
they're going
seven
to be
and
like 2-10. I know
they're gonna be like,
they're not going to be good.
yeah, they're not gonna be good at all. You know, they almost
And
lost to the freaking dude. They almost lost to the freaking remember the
Colorado
Titans.
State,
Yeah, I said that. Remember the Titans of the F. What is that? The 2A or something? What are they?
not good.
North Dakota State. I mean, they're the best team in whatever that is. But
Yeah,
agree, it's North Dakota State.
right. Yeah, the wins wagon. I don't know. I mean, I think Shador will take his BBL wherever he wants to go,
Hey,
but Travis,
yo, you just said it's BBL.
I did not say that.
What,
Uh,
what did you say? No,
Travis is
really
different.
like
Shiloh's hurt, obviously, different thing. But I'm going.
say Shador had a BBL.
I did not say that. That is crazy to assume. Let's see. What else? What else? What else? What else? Your top three teams to contend for the college football playoff. Mine are very, very simple. Georgia,
Yep.
Texas, Ohio State. I think that's pretty simple. I think there's a tier above, and then there's a tier below, and those three make up that first tier. Um, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. I'm sure you'll probably say something similar, maybe substitute a team or two.
I'm
Yeah.
going Georgia, Texas, and coming from left field. I'm locking it in right here. The day is September 12th, 2024. Give me South Carolina.
Wow. Okay, why? Talk to me.
Wait, give me South Carolina. You know why?
Why?
You really want to know why?
I do.
Do you really want to know why?
I'm so sure.
South Carolina just so happens to have one of the craziest atmospheres in the country. When that towel gets a waving up and down and up and down, the teams that are opposing them start going up and down and up and down because they're getting beat down. Lock me in. The ghost of Robbie Ashford. The ghost of Robbie Ashford is taken to the promised land.
I don't know if I have a response to it.
They walk into Kentucky, smack Kentucky. I mean, they have the fastest wide receiver on the game on college football. I mean, they were bad last year. They have game day at South Carolina this weekend. I'm locking it in. They're going undefeated.
Undefeated.
I didn't lock that in. But yeah, I'm locking it in.
You're locking in South Carolina undefeated.
You heard it. Heard it here first. Sandstorm it all the way.
So ranked LSU this week, ranked Ole Miss in week 6 or week
Yeah, where at? Where at?
5 or
Where at?
6,
Where at?
Alabama, Oklahoma, A&M, Vanderbilt, Missouri. And then they get Wofford, and then they get Clemson.
Oh, they're going to beat Clemson and Wofford.
Those are the teams you're worried about?
Oh, they're going to beat those two. Not worry about
Oh, I
those
thought
two.
you said they weren't going to beat them. I said,
No, no, no,
whoa.
no, no. Is Ole Miss at Ole Miss or is it
Ole Miss is at home.
at South Carolina?
Yes.
Oh, lock it in. South Carolina. Sandstorm. Come on now.
I love it. Lock it in. Lock it in. Lock it in. Lock it in.
unless your name is Vanderbilt University, you can only be bad for so long. Like
And what else college football you want to touch on?
FSU still sucks. I need a montage of all my FSU hate because I still hate them. All that bickering and complaining. Let me in. Let me in. I mean, Chris Brown clearly said you can't hate from outside the club when you can't get in. And all that hating, what did that get y'all, bro? It got y'all a subpar game against Louisville back in the day when Louisville was trash and y'all were trash. And y'all won a trash ACC game. And then y'all go on to just completely abysmally wet the bed against Georgia. I mean, come on, cuz. I mean, Georgia put the beat down on y'all. And y'all want to talk about, oh, we are pushing play. All right, cool. Y'all can have that game. We have y'all ranked 10th. 10th. And not only that, they were projected number 4 seed for the college football playoffs. 4 is crazy. So they go to Ireland, having all these TikToks, having a good time. This couple is like, oh yeah, we're gonna get married in Ireland so we can celebrate the game while getting married. Cool. That's a great idea. Well, you wet the bed there too. Your quarterback had like 100% passing rating, but his first pass was 3 yards. You lose that game against Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, great coach, great offensive lineman. Hey, Miles Kelly, all I'm gonna say. Georgia Tech whooped y'all. I mean, I don't even know who y'all play the next game. Who they play?
Doesn't matter.
Exactly. 0-2. Get smashed. Who did they play? Now I gotta look it up because I knew they lost somebody bad because I was laughing so hard at it. Let me see. ESPN, look up FSU. Because man, FSU is poo, butt, and cheese. Let's go to the ACC. Florida State. Oh,
Cannot sue your athletics conference trying to get out of it and then lose your
literally.
first conference game after like filing a lawsuit. That's the thing for
That's the
me. Like, come on.
Boston College at home. And they were ranked 10th in the country this time, still by 2 touchdowns. I mean, it's just laughable. You like you said, you want to get in the college football playoffs. You think you deserve a spot because you went undefeated. You're talking all this trash over the summer. You try to get bought out or whatever and join the SEC. SEC says, nah, bro, this is big boy talk. Get up out of here. Y'all go back to the ACC. I mean, they're on the verge of being in the MEAC or something. Like, good grief. I don't think
No
they
wonder
was
they were so desperate to lead the ACC. They wanted to just go right on down, go play in the MAC.
FSU. Y'all are just
Bad.
poverty program. I mean, not even James Winston can save y'all. That's my boy. So,
He's eating crab legs somewhere for he thinks free somewhere eating right now.
and I just feel bad for all the transfers they got because they got a couple Auburn guys too.
Yep.
Dang. Anyways, that's my FSU slander.
Tough scene down there. Tough scene down there. What do you say? Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
But you know what's not tough? Some might say the mailbox questions are not tough. And that is where we are at right now. The mailbox questions, if you're new, that's where fans ask the Big Talk guests a question and we try to respond. So, mailbox question of the week: what is the upset of the week? We're going to take you through all of our picks for 3 big games that we had down this week as the best. We're going to start number 11 USC versus number 17 Michigan. Dylan, what's the pop?
Give me USC. I don't know who that quarterback is, but good Lord, he's good.
I
That
agree.
core, that I mean, the dude that caught the one-handed pass while getting hit or flagged or something, I don't know. They have a great receiving core. Uh, they against that LSU game, they made some insane catches. Give me USC.
Because I don't trust Michigan. I think Miller Moss, the quarterback at USC,
Yeah, him.
we saw what he did in the bowl game last year. Caleb Williams loved it. And then what he did to LSU. I'm going USC. I think it'll be closer than the Texas Michigan game. I think it will be tight for probably majority of the game, first 3 quarters into the fourth. But I think that USC, their offense will prevail, and Michigan will not have enough fire to take it up that extra notch that they might need. We're gonna go with the next game here, South Carolina LSU. I think I have a feeling, my friend, who you're going with in this. The silence, it speaks. I love it. He's rocking with the Gamecocks. Right, give this man a second. The admirable stuff going on.
Belt to butt. Give me USC. Beamer ball, baby. We're playing Beamer ball this weekend. The ghost of Robbie Ashford. Lock it in.
I got USC, obviously. South Carolina Gamecocks over LSU. And going to our last game, number 6, Missouri at home against number 24, Boston College. Bill, who we got?
Missouri cakewalk. We're gonna be close.
You think?
Boston College is only ranked because they beat a bad Florida State team that was abysmally ranked number 10.
Missouri, that's my sleeper team of the year right now. So I'm going to say Luther Burden, Brady Cook, talk to me nice and go lay it on number 24 BC. Second mailbox question. A lot of fantasy football drafts going on, but they are in the pros. We got a fantasy football question for ourselves. College football fantasy draft. Who would be your starters? So you got quarterback, you got 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, tight end, defense, and special teams. You are up first. If you want to trade, we can go quarterback, quarterback, running back, running back. We can do whatever you want.
All right, I'm gonna go to Ole Miss running back. Clearly he just he's just running it up. So I'm gonna go with him. Um, I actually don't even do fantasy, so I'm just gonna guess from here on out. Man, for defense, man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Give me Auburn's defense. I trust
Yeah.
us. Even though we had some sus moments in Cal game, give me the Auburn defense. Special teams, give me Auburn special teams. Come on now, lock it in. Um, Quarterback, I mean, it's only right. I take the Heisman. So shoot. Give me Robbie Ashford.
No way. This dude on a USC train is wild.
Beamer ball, baby.
Tight ends, you got anybody in mind? Or you auto drafting on
Luke
that one?
Deal.
Luke Deal, okay, the veteran.
Well, now he had a crazy hit last game. I don't know if he got fancy points for that, but he hit somebody. He came to play.
Yep, yep.
Shoot, man, you could have Travis Hunter. I'll take Dre Lambert.
Okay,
Not sure how high his score is going to be, but give me Dre Lambert. I trust him.
I'm with it. I'm about it. All
Give
right,
me
quarterback. I guess I'll take. Let's see. Let's see. Let me think. Across the country, quarterback, quarterback, quarterback. Um, just because I'm a massive fan of the deep ball, I'm gonna say give me Jalen Milrow.
yeah, I'm about
We'll
to
go
hang up.
Jalen Milrow. He's got a beautiful deep ball. If you
I'm
deny it, you're wild.
about to get off this. No way you just said that.
I did. Jalen
Yep.
Milrow.
Heard it here first.
Running back, I'm gonna say give me Ollie Gordon from Oklahoma State. He's a stud.
Yep.
Wide receiver, I'll go freshman. I'll say Cam Coleman and Perry Thompson. I'll keep it local. Um, tight ends, tight ends, tight ends. I'm gonna auto draft on that one.
That
Special
the
team.
tight end from Cal was cooking.
I was gonna say my Cal pick for special teams because they pinned us within the 3 yard line, I think 3 or 4 times. So shout out to their kicker. He's probably from the land down under. That's where the best kickers come from, mate. Australia. Um, and then defense. I mean, I'll take Georgia or Texas. Take one of those teams. Ohio State. They got a good defense. A lot of stud recruits on there. You got any mailbox questions coming into your mailbox this week? Nothing.
Mailbox is void.
Auburn win on Saturday. Is that in your mailbox?
Shoot, lock it in. Auburn's undefeated for us this season, bro.
That is a bold lock.
Lock it in. Everyone's gonna laugh at this episode, thinking, "Oh, Beamer ball and all Auburn versus South Carolina national championship game." Lock it in.
I know a lot of people really like the SEC, but I don't know that there's somebody who likes picking SEC teams, especially the ones that you wouldn't expect, more than 44.
Just saying, I played a lot of college football in July, back in my heyday, and boy, it got nasty with Robbie Ashford. So I'm gonna say, need to try Nebraska. I haven't tried Nebraska out, so I'm gonna try them boys out, see if they're like that or something.
Gotta try the mini me Patrick Mahomes. How about it?
Yeah.
Well, awesome. That was a fun episode. We were college footballing it up. And we'll be back next time to give you more updates, more predictions, more thoughts, more opinions. How about that, Dylan? Is
Yep.
that all you got?
That's all I got.
Awesome. So that's all for this episode of Big Talk. Make sure to catch full episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube with clips on YouTube Shorts, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. For Vince, for Dylan, college football is back, and we could not be happier. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.